Friday, y'all. Hope it's good in the neighborhood. Sit down, relax, grab your favorite mug, because we're about to serve you some Quali-Tea.
What is up, guys? This is Lexi. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode with our podcast, The Quali-Tea. This segment we're going to be covering is going to be all about movies. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Ah, yes.
And if any of you truly know Queen Kenni herself, you know there is no one who loves movies more than her. So this segment is all for her. And, really, if you guys listen, that's great, cool. We appreciate you. But this is really for Kenni. I just know she loves movies. So this is for my girl Kenni. We're gonna have her, talk about all of the love for movies.
Oh my goodness.
And everything up and down. So this segment is for you, Kenni. This is movie madness, baby.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
This is movie madness, baby. This is for you. This is why we do this. But to all my Quali-Tea listeners out there, hope you enjoy.
We about to ball out. This is it.
But let me ask you something, Kenni. Why movies? Why are you such a big movie lover? I feel like these days, especially at college right now, I feel like most people are like, I don't have time to really watch movies. I'm more of a music person, which I know you are as well. But you seem to have a lot of time to watch movies. You were able to squeeze it in there. Is that you're just so passionate about them? I see every snap. Dawson's Creek, new movie, this. I'm crying. I'm screaming. This is so good. Why did Amazon do this? This, that. You truly are a movie lover. What is it about them?
Absolutely. No, honestly, movies have been it started out as a family tradition. And so I don't think my mom was really into movies, but my dad is the one who got her into it, and he just did it all the time. And so then my mom, she brought that on to us. And so when I was younger, if I had to say 1/3 of our house collectively is just movies. It's our movie stash. We have VHS tapes. We have DVDs. We have Netflix. We have Amazon Prime. And then we have every other movie thing that you could think of, most likely. And so it's just been, when I was younger, that's what we used to do. That was family time. We would watch movies together. We would do that all the time. My brother and I usually watch TV shows together. Him and I are big Animal Planet freaks. But we used to do that all the time. And so it's always just been, an activity that I don't think I've ever gone one day in my entire life without watching a movie. I really don't think so, unless I've been asleep the entire day. And even then, I probably had on a movie in the background so that I could go to sleep.
You probably had a movie playing in your head while you were sleeping.
Right, exactly.
I can't imagine how many great movies have gone on that you've created in your head while you're sleeping.
To be honest, a lot.
I was just saying, oh, no. Oh, yeah, there it is.
No. Yeah, I mean, movies have just been, they're so infused with my daily life. It's my ultimate form of self-care. Whenever I'm down and out, a movie. Whenever I'm peaking, movie. Whenever I'm, content, movie. It doesn't matter. I just need a movie for every moment in my life, because there is a movie for every moment, every emotion, everything you're doing.
God, that is beautiful. I love to hear it. So no matter what the mood is, what the vibes are, it's literally movie is always a yes. If anybody asks you, hey, you watch a movie tonight? You would be like, absolutely.
I mean, why would you not ask me?
I mean, what? That's a dumb question. Yeah, I know it's no stupid question, but that's a stupid question. Oh, that's very cool. No, I definitely love movies, but I will admit, I watched them a lot when I was younger. I just feel like I had more time. And I was really just always interested in just watching movies. And I look at it, I was like, oh, I want to watch that. But now, I don't have my mind, I don't have the capacity to keep up right now. And there's so many, good movies out, I feel like, or good TV shows, or just good entertainment that it's so much. There's so many recommendations a lot of the times. I'm like, oh, it's too much. I can't watch it. So I'm not going to watch anything.
Yeah,
I need a minute. But definitely love movies. But this kind of leads into, with your love of movies, what has been a really good movie you've seen recently that's been let out in theaters?
John Wick 3. It came out last year around May. But let me tell you something. My man John Wick is another level of action. I mean, this man, he's just this insane force to be reckoned with. Anybody knows me, like, I advocate for John Wick as if I'm his, like, advertising manager. Like, I feel like I am his PR rep because I rep him so hard.
Dewey, this is you. We're protecting the brand name, PR. John Wick, Kenny's got you. There's no stronger PR
me and Keanu
than
are tight. I definitely had lunch with him 3 days ago. No, but...
Did you tell him I said hey?
Absolutely. Gave him your number and everything.
He hasn't replied to me.
No, but John Wick is just... Even if it's not realistic, it feels that way. It's just like you get trapped into this little world where these people are doing these things, and you feel for John, especially in the first movie. Like, anybody would be pissed if your wife just died, and then these little gang boys have the audacity to come and steal the 2 things that you had left of her, the car she gave you, and then killed the dog. Why would you do that?
God, I have no idea what she's talking about, guys. I have never seen John Wick, but it sounds great.
But do you have to understand it to be as upset as he was?
I feel like all the emotions you felt while you watched this, I'm feeling now with you just telling me.
Exactly. I mean, and then you have the audacity. It's coincidental that you just happened to do this to somebody who used to be an assassin. His wife was the reason why he got out of assassinating, but you just revved it back up.
Can you guys feel the tension with Kenny's voice right now about John Wick?
I kid you not. Like, the movie is so well crafted, and then Keanu Reeves is just... Him and action was just a thing that was meant to be from the beginning. There's no way you can untangle the two. It's just not going to happen because Keanu is like the poster boy for action. Anytime you can do these fight scenes, anytime you do your own stunts because you're that dedicated, this is a man we need to stay alive forever. Like, we need Keanu just for the sole purpose of him bringing enjoyment to our lives with what he does. It's amazing to see him, you think of him as John Wick, but he's Keanu, but just seeing him be able to get into this character, because, John is a complicated guy. He's a complicated guy, but he's a simple guy at the same time. But to see him sort of, like, intertwine the two and be able to separate them also, is crazy, because you feel like Keanu really is this man. This man doesn't exist. He's not real in the slightest. But, if I walked up to him today, I'm not going to call him Keanu. Never in my life. I'm going to be like, is that John Wick? Because that is what this man has bred us to believe he can be.
I feel like if I ever saw Keanu Reeves, I'd be like, is that Neo from The Matrix? Because I recently just watched that movie for my class. So anytime I see Keanu, I'm just like, The Matrix, man.
Absolutely. He's just this super powerful actor that can get so immersed in his character that you really believe that he is that guy. It's one of the most amazing things to see happen, because a lot of actors, of course our top actors have that capability, but there is a select few who can really make you believe that they are that person on that screen.
That's funny, because ever since, I don't know much about Keanu. I've not seen a lot of his films that he's in. I've seen only, I want to say, 3 total. Mm-hmm. And 2 of them he's very, very small parts in. Mm-hmm. The biggest one was The Matrix. I feel like after watching him, I've been hearing the same thing, very consistent across the board. Mm-hmm. Keanu, please don't hate me. This is not me. But a lot of people are hating on him. They said he is not a good actor. He is not convincing. So,
oh my Lord.
Oh no, the table's quaking, guys. Kenny is raging.
I'm not quaking. I just personally think that good acting is hard to come by. And Keanu is one of those people who's an exemplary actor, at least to me. You have people who think they can act. A lot of people think they can act. But acting is a sacrifice. If you're not passionate about it, you're not going to do it to the point where it's effective. The point is to make your audience step outside of their own lives and resonate with you to the point where they think that this is you. They don't even have to know the real you. Sometimes we see people in movies and we're like, oh yeah, do you mean the guy from this? Never even knowing what this actor's real name. I didn't find out Jake Gyllenhaal's name until after I had seen at least 8 movies with him in it.
I knew him in October Sky.
Honestly, I'm able to refer to every movie that he's been, though, because I can remember these characters and I can remember what these movies made me feel and what these characters made me feel. And it's about what these characters are able to make you feel. It's not about the fact that, oh yeah, I mean, he did really good when he shot up that one guy in that one scene. That's not what it's about. Anybody can do anything. But, I mean, not everybody can be somebody else. You know what I mean? Living double lives. I mean, some of y'all be, stripping down on Saturday and then living it up at church on Sunday. LOL, I didn't do that last weekend. Anyway,
and I wasn't watching her the entire time.
Never.
We were very separate places.
Absolutely. I was not dancing with her at the club. Anyway.
I did not throw several ones in her face. I did not. You can quote me on that. I did not. How did we get here, Kenny?
I have no idea. The car, I think, just definitely made its own turn. Tesla driving itself. So.
But, okay, so let me just make sure I'm right. Since I don't know much about John Wick, but this is a series, right? There's been several of these?
Yep. The third one is the one that I watched last year.
So is this like your favorite series, or do you have a different one?
Definitely not. If it was series-wise, I have like a top 3. So it's definitely Men in Black, the Indiana Jones series, and then the Planet of the Apes series, the newer one.
Ooh.
But my definite favorite has to be the Planet of the Apes series.
Really?
Absolutely. Character progression in that one series alone is phenomenal.
Now, is this including the old original Planet of the Apes 2, or just the very new one that came out when? What was that very first, new one?
I think it came out in, 2013?
And that was, it had what's his name? The
James
guy,
Franco.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Green Goblin. That's what, see? Characters who compel you. I don't know this guy.
Characters who compel you.
I only know him as the Green Goblin. His dad was a Green Goblin. I only know him as his son. Mm-hmm. You know everybody.
When it's a good actor, you got to know the name.
You gotta know.
I
only know him as avenging his father in Spider-Man.
It's okay.
He became Baby Green Goblin. But, good guy. I like him.
GG Jr.
Yeah, GG Jr., baby. Spider-Man, you gonna regret it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So, why Planet of the Apes?
I like the new take they went on it. Because at first, it was just, these random people. It was almost like Pilgrims and Native Americans. Like, you're not supposed to be here, and you're intruding on their space, and so you hate everything that they do because it's all in retaliation for the fact that you impeded on their space. And I understand that, yes, they took over a planet, but, it's their planet, technically, since they did take it over. But I like the new take on it, and having it be where Caesar is trying to actually make peace with humans. It was never his intention to just wipe them all out. It just happened. But I definitely think, from the moment it starts, you see, it doesn't even, the humans in the movie don't even matter. The movie is about Caesar, and we know that. But seeing Caesar go from this monkey that was completely immersed in human culture to being the leader of this entire movement that ended up affecting so many lives outside of, the lives of these apes. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we see Caesar, this little baby who comes in this box, whose mother was killed at this lab, and we feel for him, and we really support the fact that, oh man, James Franco, this scientist who really cares about him, is taking care of him. We go through life with Caesar, we understand his frustration that he doesn't want to be a pet. He wants to know about where he comes from. He wants to be the thing that he was born to be, an animal. But at the same time, he's gotten intertwined with human characteristics. And so it's almost like one of those movies where it's a crisis of identity. And I really like it, though, because he tries to embrace both throughout the entire series. It's not like he completely leaves his human identity and adapts the ape one. Mm-hmm. It's always this careful balance between the two. And I really, really appreciate that about him. And he tried to instill the same thing in all the other apes. I just think it's a really good movie in terms of a really good series in terms of understanding, that you need to understand who you are in order to be the things that you want to be. Mm-hmm. And I just think that series is a perfect showing of that message. And, despite everything that this man went through, he still didn't want, the humans killed his entire family. I mean, it just, his own apes turned on him. So he had reasons to leave both identities, to just completely say, like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to do this instead. But he didn't. He kept sticking with it. And I mean, just the dedication, the value that he put towards everything that he did, you know, the sacrifices that he had to make to get these apes into the place that he wanted it to be, and to get these humans into a place that he wanted them to be also. I mean, it was phenomenal, and it was really sad in the last movie that he had to die, but he left a legacy worth leaving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
His son, the only one that was left after everything happened, I mean, he has big shoes to fill, but I mean, at this point, you know that he's ready for it. You know, the orangutan Maurice, you know, he left Maurice with the knowledge of everything that he was trying to pursue. They finally had gotten to the place where they could be alone. They didn't have to worry about, you know, the human invasion or people who didn't like them. It was a place where apes could be safe, but they could still base everything off of those human ideals that Caesar had tried to integrate with them in the beginning. And so I think it's just a really powerful movie series in terms of understanding, you know, unity. I think it's really, really good. I love that.
I do really like the explanation you have and the reasoning behind that. I think it's very deep. I definitely would not have gotten that deep. I watched Planet of the Apes when I was younger because I know my dad was big on it. And he showed me the original ones. I thought they were pretty cool. And then, you know, of course, when, you know, the very first, you know, new one came out with James Franco in it, I was like, oh, well, like, we have to see it because, like, we have to.
Absolutely.
And then I just remember, I loved it so much. I don't know about you, but when I was in the theater watching it, I got chills. And I don't know why. Something about it was just so powerful when Caesar said no.
Girl, that was my part. Oh my goodness. That part was it was like the turning point for everything that was going to happen after that. I mean,
foreshadowing the damage that Caesar and, you know, his apes are gonna do.
Literally. If I had a top 10 of the most powerful movie scenes that I've ever witnessed, that is number 1 for sure. Like, you have movies that have, you know, specific scenes, like any fight scene in John Wick, especially like the one where, in the first one, where he's like stabbing that dude and he's, you know. Anyway, besides that, you have these like powerful movie scenes that really make a difference in how the movie is going to progress. But that one right there, it sends chills down your spine. It scares you as much as it scared the guy who it was supposed to scare in the movie. Because this is Caesar's like ascent into finding out that he is that part human and that he's capable of doing what humans can do. It's not just now that he has the intelligence, but he has the vocals to go along with it. And it was crazy because nobody saw that coming. Nobody.
You know what that had me? Shook.
Shooketh.
Shooketh. I definitely, that was definitely hands down my favorite part. And probably the entire series as a collection. And then just in that movie, I was like, you know, so many great parts, good movie. I think just the way it was, you know, laid out, written, and produced and directed and all that jazz. I still think, I was like, ugh, when he says no, that is just my favorite part.
That is the best part.
Now, you know, is it the Notebook, you know, where it's like, if you're a bird, I'm a bird? No, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, Caesar, like, is great. When he said no, I was moved. I really was. But, you know, it's no Ryan Gosling and, you know, Rachel McAdams
Lord.
when he said, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. I mean, come on. You told me that didn't move you. That has to be in the top 10 powerful scenes. Am I right?
The Notebook. Gosh, I'm trying to think of the most powerful scene from that movie.
There were so many.
The most powerful scene in that movie is where her mother comes back and gives her the letters. Oh, you want to hate the mother so bad, but then you have to take it all back because she at least had the decency to give her the letters back. Because what she could have done was threw them all in the river and never let her see them and just have said, I hid all the letters. There's a difference between saying and doing.
I love the character change of the mother in that. Yeah. I was so mad during the entire movie. I'm like, God, I hate you.
Yeah, she sucks, man.
Bro, just let them love each other, dude. Like, what the heck, bro? I'm like, I just trying to love. Like, so what? Like, don't you know what it's like? And she's like, oh, he's not good for you. He's so trash.
I'm hip. And then pulled up to the little, what was it? The
little, whatever.
The lumber yard.
Yes.
To go see the dude.
And she said, you see that guy in the white beater?
We used to be in love.
Mad cute. He mad cute.
Don't nobody don't give a rat's hat. Like, why can't you let me love my boo? Like,
She said,
what's that?
Mom, where was this energy the entire time while I was in love with my man? Oh, so you gonna sit here and tell me I can't see this boy no more?
But you still messing with a dude who works in the lumber yard, Mom?
Our men are the same right now, Mom.
Really, though?
This is where I got it from. You. Mm-hmm. You ignorant. I got it from you.
I'm hip.
I just, God, I love that movie. It's just, if you haven't picked it up yet, my favorite genre of movies is just romance. You can't beat romance. You can't beat rom-coms. I love love. Speaking of love, it's February. Hello. Is this the perfect time or what? Can you even watch The Notebook with me or what?
Absolutely. Can I get the ice cream? Because The Notebook isn't it without ice cream.
It's not, exactly.
You've got to have. Can
Please.
we watch the last song too? No, seriously. That's one of those really powerful romance. I tried to watch it last summer and I got like halfway through and I just started bawling. Like I had to stop it. I had to like give it a break. So I want to watch it all the way through without crying my eyes out until the end.
So we're going to have a sad girl Valentine where we just watch a bunch of love movies?
Oh yeah, please.
You know, I don't see nothing sad about that. I'm going to have fun.
I'm hip.
You going to have fun?
Absolutely.
Ice cream and romance.
We're just going to have tissues on standby just in case. But it's going to be a riveting experience. I feel it.
If you see, tears fall down my face, don't worry about it.
It's my allergies acting up.
Yeah, it's my allergies.
Mind your business.
There's dust around here, okay?
Mind your business.
Spring is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. I'm not crying.
Y'all know the groundhog ain't see his shadow. He said it was going to be an early spring, which means everything's acting up.
Yeah, so don't worry about it if you see me crying.
I got something in my eye. Mind your business.
Because I'm not crying. there's some stuck, okay? There's some stuck. My glasses
I'm
fogged
a real
up.
thug. I'm just sweating from my eyes. It's a little humid in here.
But that really is a good movie.
It is.
I will stick by it until some miracle, which I don't think will happen. I'm gonna, foresee this future. I'm gonna talk it into existence. Mm-hmm. I just don't think there's gonna be another romance movie as good as The Notebook. I don't think so.
There have been some that prefaced it. I personally think that Pretty Woman is a very, very, very
Here she
good
goes
romance.
again with this Pretty Woman. Like, Julia Roberts is great.
Julia Roberts is a goddess. I don't know what you're saying.
She's great, but their love was not Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling.
Girl,
do you know they dated in real life, too?
That's really, really happening. But you know what? Julia Roberts, first of all, her acting alone... She just has this energy that she brings on screen just like she brings it off screen. She's so graceful and I literally adore her as an actress. Like that is definitely something on my bucket list, like top 3 meeting Julia Roberts because she's the only Scorpio that I will ever stand this hard. Only person
horoscopes.
I'm about to bring up the horoscopes. She's the only person that is outside of the Virgo horoscope that I will stand. The only person from the Scorpio community that I will actively advocate for.
You would know her whole horoscope thing.
I sure do. She's amazing.
I just feel like Julia Roberts is great. Been in so many great movies, great roles. What was the other movie where, the abusive husband where she left and like changed her whole life? I forget what that one's called, but that was a really good movie.
No, I understand the one you're talking about.
But
I'm trying to think of what it is.
I just feel like Pretty Woman didn't capture the love, the star-crossed love and these problems like The Notebook did. And I feel like it was just a little rushed.
I feel like
they went from, oh no, she's like got this hard life trying to make it, and then boom, meets rich guy. Oh, rich guy falls in love. Oh, problems, and now we're in love again.
I think it was progressive though. Like in comparison to The Notebook, I like the fact that the love started early and then it continued. It was like a balance between their future and then their past. Does that make sense? It's like their present and then their past, and that's great. But not all love happens like that. I like how they were young and it was like a coincidence that they met where they met. All that great stuff, because that is realistic. And it's realistic that she had Alzheimer's, and it's realistic that, you think about this. The one unrealistic thing about that movie, there's a few of them actually. One, not everybody has their whole entire romance with somebody else written down in a book. It's precious, but it's not realistic.
If it's real love, I would write 1,000,000 books.
Okay.
I would write 1,000,000. I would write 1,000,000 books.
All right, Lexi. That's
just me.
I'm gonna hold you up to that when I see you in the future. I'm gonna be like, so you wrote that book yet?
And I'm gonna say, I already got 10.
I'm done with you. And then the other unrealistic thing about it is them dying together at the same time.
That's how strong love is, Kenny.
As that is,
that's how strong love is.
You know that happens like one chance in a million.
And you know what you still said? One chance. I'll take it.
I'm done with you. I'm so done with you.
1 in a million. Hey, I still hear one.
I really appreciate, Nicholas Sparks for his, like,
he's so good.
He is. I don't know what is wrong with, it's like, he okay, because he be writing some really sad stuff, like, The Fault in Our Stars tore me up, bruh.
I want to know his love life. I'm
hip. Like, is he happy? Or is, like, something going on that we don't know? Do we need to check in on him?
God, Mr. Sparks, if you're listening right now,
I hope you hear
please
us.
contact us. We just want to know.
Please. So, I appreciate how he has these, like, edge of life, like, absolutely, fiery romance movies that really highlight on making sure that you value love while it's here because, one day it could disappear. But I also like Pretty Woman because it's realistic. You have a woman who's a prostitute who's really having a hard time taking care of herself. That's what she is. Stop laughing. We know that she's a stripper, she's a prostitute.
It's just, I know it is, but like when you hear the word, you're like, oh, wow.
Oh, what?
Julia Roberts? Never.
Look, okay, from Steel Magnolias
God,
to stealing people's money off the boulevard, okay?
Talk about a movie. Talk about character change, am I right? Growth.
I'm hip. Anyway.
Magnolias to the streets, am I right? Oh, we digress so hard.
But you also have Richard Gere, who's one of those actors where he's like this steely kind of good looking. I don't think I've ever seen a movie where Richard Gere is poor. I really don't think I've ever seen him and Michael Douglas. I don't think they have the capability to play broke people, but it's fine. We're not even going to talk about that.
We ain't going to worry about that.
You have Richard Gere who has this kind of like steely, mysterious look about him, and you wonder what he's really thinking because his face, you can't tell it. And so the fact that we have this rich man who's really trying to unlock his humanity because he doesn't feel like he has it. And then we have Julia Roberts, who's the epitome of the human condition. She's struggling. She knows what it's like to be hurt and to have trust issues and, to just be an overall person who's just trying to make it day to day. And the fact that they come together and they end up finding, I guess, the best parts of their humanity because of each other. And I think it's like, love is supposed to bring out the best in people. And so I think that movie is a perfect indication of, that same thing. Like I said, Richard Gere is trying to find his humanity. Julia Roberts helps him find it. She helps him get out of his shell. She helps him realize that there's more to life than just having good things and that you need to hold on to the good things that you do have. Like she told him to call his father. She told him that he needs to loosen up, try and get out there and do new things. The same thing with her. She needed to learn that trusting people was okay. That not everybody is out here to scam you. Not everybody is out here to take the things that you have because we already know that you've had it hard enough. There are people out there who are willing to take care of you without any strings attached. That love is not something you should be afraid of because you remember she couldn't kiss anybody on the lips. He taught her intimacy and she taught him to live life.
That is a beautiful analysis of the movie. But, what I'm hearing is you've got don't give me that look, Kenny. All right, because I'm about to
you, bro.
You know what I'm about to spit real quick? Some truth. Some Quali-Tea.
Oh my goodness.
Because the way you just explained Pretty Woman, where you're like, what'd you say? Well, you used some big word that I don't even know. You said the something of love is that brings out the best in you. And here you have this girl who knows struggle. Julia Roberts, she's struggling. Then you have this guy, he's got it like this and that. Mm-hmm. And they bring out the best in each other. She helps him loosen up, but he teaches her how to love and
Oh,
yes,
my gosh.
Great, but
I think it's covering a lot more issues than just that. You're talking about two economic statuses here because we all know that a lot of times some relationships are just business oriented. You have people who get married to other people for the sake of having money. You have people who are Julia Roberts could have taken this man's money and pulled out, bruh.
You know what you're explaining?
$3,000 for the weekend?
You know what you're explaining? The Notebook. That's what you're explaining. Kenny, freaking The Notebook, all right?
Maybe it's because my glasses aren't thick enough, but I don't see where you're going with this.
if you'll give me a minute.
Go off, do what you gotta do.
Okay, in The Notebook, Noah and Allie, all right? Noah, poor, from the streets, hardworking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got a hard, he makes like what? Like, he said, oh, I make like 16 cents at the lumberyard, but I save most of it, I don't need it. And then here's Allie. Her parents are like, oh, you're gonna do this, you're gonna go to school, here, jazz, tap lessons, painting, this, that, French, you're gonna learn all these 80 million languages, you're gonna do this, that, and the other. And then they meet each other, and she's just like, oh, this is a dirty old guy. And he's like, oh, you are, like, so beautiful and gorgeous. Like, why would you want to talk to me? But hear me out. She says, when they're walking down the street, she's like, oh, I used to paint. You asked what I did for me. I used to paint, but I don't paint anymore. And he's just like, so paint? Like, paint, babe? Like, for real? And you know what she does? She paints again because he teaches her how to love the things she used to love because she got so caught up in her rich life and doing everything to please other people except for herself. She's trying to please everyone and make her mom and dad happy and blah, 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 because they just want her to date some rich man. You know, what's his name? Long Cotton Man, whatever his name is.
James Marsden, I know is the actor, but I don't know his name in the movie.
Lon Hammond. Hammock, something.
He did have a weird name.
He had a rich name because his father... Bourgeois, you know, lawn hammock,
that
lawnmower.
Outfit that she was wearing when she pulled up to his office, that was a little much. Like, it was all cool up until, like, the red stockings. I feel like that just went... I mean, it just...
I just think Rachel McAdams has a special place in my heart. And I just feel like their love was so strong. And, you know, he could have, like, married her for money, but he was like, I don't care about your money. Because he came into money when he built that beautiful house. He's like, I'm going to build her a house, her dream house that she wants, and she going to come back to me and realize that, you know, we're meant to be. And you know what she did? She came back. And you know who she left? Rich Daddy lawn hammock, lawnmower, whatever his name is. He's not important. Like, he's a great guy. Love him. He was so sweet to her. But he's no Noah, you know?
Right.
So I'm just thinking, you know, we're different lovers, Kenny. We are.
I just
With similar plots, though. I feel like there's similarities happening.
I definitely agree that, you know, The Notebook was also stretching across, you know, socioeconomic boundaries and things like that. And I definitely think that they were bringing... I just can't see where Allie was bringing out the best in Noah. Noah was already a good person. I think he taught her how to slow down and learn to take life, like, one thing at a time. But it's hard for me to wrap my head around what she did for him, except bring him happiness, which, I mean, anybody values that. And that's what the purpose of love is, too, to bring your other person happiness. I think I appreciate about Pretty Woman that it was an equal exchange of, you know, love doing things on both sides. Because, you know, marriage can't be a one-sided thing. Love is never a one-sided thing. You know, the same love that you give is the same love that you want back, and it's the same love that you deserve back. And so I think that Pretty Woman was just a good thing about saying, you know, in terms of love, what goes around comes around, or what you give gets, you know, taken back in like times 3. And so, I don't know. I just think that a relationship is a 2-person effort. And so I think that Pretty Woman was a good depiction of a 2-person effort.
I think
it just felt like Noah was doing all the legwork, bruh. I mean, Dad, you had to go and build a house and get your behind put in the newspaper for her to even see that you were alive.
Listen, love has no boundaries.
Love has no boundaries, but I mean, Dad, would you have even known that he was out here flexing unless he was put in that newspaper? He didn't even want to be seen. After she left, he had nothing.
She was forced to leave, all right? I just think I can see where you're coming from. Where, you know, he kind of held Allie up, and, you know, would she have noticed him if it wasn't for the newspaper and him building the house? That's a good question.
It was a lot of coincidence that ended up reviving their love. I feel like with Pretty Woman, though, they put themselves into it was coincidence how they got together, but then everything after that was of their own volition. It was like, you know, we do this, we do that, you know, our personal problems have caused an obstacle, but we're also going to use those personal problems and the solutions that we can use to solve them to keep our relationship alive.
I think what Allie did teach Noah is, I think Allie needed to learn the simple things, like painting and that, like, you know, wearing, like, crystal high heels isn't, like, the world and blah, blah, blah. He helped her with a lot of that. But I think she helped him kind of realize that, you know, he didn't need to impress her, you know, because at the end of the day, she loved him so much at just who he was, you know, and she was like, you know, we can be together. I'll go where you go. Like, you can come with me to New York. And he's like, I can't do that. Like, what am I going to do in New York? Like, it's not for me. He needs to stop being so caught up. He needs to step out a little bit, you know? Like, stop being so afraid, you know? Like, oh, you won't fit in. Like, boo-hoo. Like, I don't fit in here.
Forget all them people.
Like, you know, stop
bust
it.
down and move on with your life.
And then I think when he came around her family, her snobby family, and they're just asking these such, like, like, we're better than you questions, I think that was hard for her. And I think, you know, she was able to tell him, like, listen, babe, like, what my family has to say doesn't matter because I love you for you.
I really see what you're saying. She helped him understand that being a fish out of water is a mindset, not a reality.
She's like, I get we're very different. I get I got all these great things and you got these things. She said, but... She said, do you think I care? She said, I will throw my jazz shoes away. I will forget learning these French lessons. She said, I will be happy with a paintbrush and then just hanging out with you. So she taught him, like, like, stop trying to give me the world. Like, I just want it to be us. I literally just want it to be us. And I think, you know, it took Noah a little minute to realize that. But
I definitely agree. I don't think I had really thought about that before, but you're right. You're right.
I think, do I still believe what you say that I think Noah kind of... he helped her more.
That
yes.
man was doing some work, boy. I was sweating just watching him do what he had to do. Good gravy.
But she was worth it.
She was.
But after getting off this tangent, you can clearly see that my favorite genre is romance. But Kenny, like, what's yours?
I am a thriller girl if there ever was one. If somebody ain't getting murdered and we're trying to find out what's up, it doesn't really spark inside of me a whole lot. I shouldn't say that because I definitely just went off on, you know, Planet of the Apes. But I guess you could consider that a thriller. But
I would say it is.
Crime thrillers are like, especially like 90s crime thrillers, that is my literal like happy place. But thrillers in general, I think I just like it because I'm a person that is constantly seeking out change. And so you can never have the same thriller. It's virtually impossible. With romances, I mean, they found this formula where, oh my gosh, these two people just happen to meet. They fall in love. Sometimes they have sex. Then something happens. Somebody messes it up. And then there's that point where they don't talk to each other. And then boom, we get back together and everything is peachy keen. We're bugging, we're thugging. Bonnie and Clyde, boom, it ends.
Y'all see the way she is disrespecting my love right now.
But it's like...
I mean, she's right, but I love it.
That
Call me simple.
Formula is so tiring. Hallmark has learned to perfect that thing, and it's disgusting. It's like...
Oh my!
Like
my mom is gonna be so upset. She
how
loves
many
Hallmark.
Of the same plot can you do?
They have the same actors and actresses.
Bro, you just give it a new name and you switch around the parts and give them new stuff.
How about
it's the same thing?
How about instead of having it in the snow, let's do it in the rain?
Wow! Oh God!
So it's not the same, guys.
Instead of on the farm, let's go to the mountain.
Instead of the mountain, let's go to the city.
Like, what? I don't know how many. I mean, I can't get my head around this little cookie cutter formula that romances are. It's so irritating. Like, it has to break from that cookie cutter formula for me to really be into it. Like,
I just think that's why I love him so much.
Do something wild. I'm so sick of y'all doing this predictable stuff. Darn it. You caught him at the restaurant looking at some other girl's feet. Now we can't talk. It's over. It's over. And then we're going to run into each other at this little ramen noodle restaurant up in town. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen her. I love her. I'm going to make a fool out of myself in front of this crowd to try and win her back. All right, Johnny. Well, she was there with another dude anyway, and hold on. Realize that.
Let me take notes for this movie you're about to write.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to watch it. It sounds so good.
It's like, you know, romance movies are very predictable in my opinion, and so it's hard for me to get with them just because I need something to punch me in the throat. I want to be surprised, like Frailty, for instance, with Matthew McConaughey and Bill Paxton. That movie is absolutely insane. You have this brother and he's talking about how he definitely thinks that his other brother is this serial killer that they've been trying to catch. You're talking to a man who's in the FBI, and you're lying to his face. The whole time you're the actual serial killing brother. You killed your actual brother and your dad. And it's insane. And then, no cap, right? This list of people that you are supposed to be killing, the FBI guy just happens to be one. How is that not a movie that literally just... Then, hold on, wait a minute. The law enforcement that the FBI people are reporting to report the person that's missing is you. You're a killer and a cop. I mean, it's absolutely wild. It's movies like that. They just give me this rush, and I think that's why I like thrillers, because it brings out my like adventurous side, and it makes me, it just I mean, goodness great, it makes me want to jump off like a cliff, skydive, run outside in the middle of the street doing nothing, like, it just gives you it gives me this rush. But it's like no thriller is the same. You get ones like Frailty that are like about religion and serial killers, or you get ones like Misery that are about this. Misery is my absolute favorite thriller. 1990 is when it came out. Kathy Bates and James Cain were the perfect people to do. Can we talk about Kathy Bates for just a minute? This woman's acting capacity, I mean, her range is unreal. She can go from the grandma who be cussing people out over coffee to this crazy woman who poses as this nurse and then almost kills James Cain. I mean, it's just, she's fantastic, and he was too, because it was so believable. I mean, the progression of the movie, the score, the plot, the movie poster. Have you seen the movie poster? Look it up, because it's amazing. Like, the movie is just, there's no thriller that does not have something interesting going on, and I get bored fast, which is why I can't do this whole cookie cutter, oh, we're so cute, and then we break up thing that romance movies do.
Just the thought of that makes me so happy. I just want to watch one right now.
1 minute, you've got a crazy psycho-killing author worshiper. Then 1 minute, you've got a serial-killing brother posing as somebody else. Then you have other movies. Silence of the Lambs, for instance. Can we talk about Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins and why they're so great? You have a woman who's trying to get into the behavioral analysis unit of the FBI. Behavioral psychology, she's all about it. And then you have Hannibal Lecter, a absolute crazy person who's helping you catch Buffalo Bill, another serial. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? None of these are like each other. They all have something different going on. There's no set plot. There's no set, there's no way that this is supposed to go.
You know what I am? Confusion. You know what that hurts? My head.
Oh my god.
You know what I want to do? I just want a glass of milk to go with my nice cookie cutter movies.
I'm done with you.
Because I just love them, Kenny. I don't like... This might sound bad. I just don't like when I have to think during a movie. I just want to feel. I don't want my brain to rattle at this.
I understand.
Cop killer guy. Oh, FBI. Oh, now we're the same, but we're different.
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I like being an active participant when I watch a movie. Like I say, every movie is an experience, and if I'm not interacting with it, I can't get with it. It's like, oh my gosh, I can make a prediction about, is this guy going to kill this girl when she pulls up to this restaurant that he just happens to be at, Is this letter what this serial killer or this person was trying to get through to that other person? Like Seven, for instance. This man, what was it? Kevin Spacey was the serial killer, and then there was Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. And so Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt were working this homicide where all of these people had been killed with some form of the seven sins. And so Kevin Spacey was the serial killer, and they finally found out where he was going to be before he struck again. And so they went out there. At this point, we only had two more sins left. It was greed and anger, I think. And so we had to figure out who out of all the people were going to be anger and greed, because every person died the way that the sin was supposed to be portrayed. So like lust, it was some prostitute or whatever that was killed in her bed. No, it wasn't greed, and it was anger and something else. I want to say no, because greed was they had killed like some famous lawyer or something in the beginning. Gosh, what was it left? It was anger and envy. There we go. And so you had to figure out, who was going to be what, because you knew somebody out of the three was going to die, And so, I mean, just trying to predict, is it going to be Brad Pitt because we can see him getting angry with Kevin Spacey in the car? Who's envious of who here? Is it that Kevin Spacey wants to be Brad Pitt, wants to have, because is this why he's threatening him with the fact that he killed his wife, because he's envying the life that he can't have because his brain just can't function enough to actually develop a romantic relationship? Is Morgan Freeman envious of Brad Pitt because he has more spunk and more energy and the ability to do things that he can't do because he's so caught up in the fact that his life sucks? You wonder, like, what is this? What is happening next? What are the connections that I can make to ensure that I get the ending that I'm looking for? I still didn't get the ending that I went on a 30-minute rant because the last 15 minutes of the movie pissed me off. Because you say that you killed Gwyneth Paltrow, which is supposed to be Brad Pitt's wife. You say that you chopped her head off and you put it in a box. I'm one of those people who I need the proof, I need to see it, I need to know that this is what happened. Because you think about when they were on the way to the site where Gwyneth Paltrow's head is supposed to be in this box, and Kevin Spacey is like, yeah, she's here and all this stuff happened. He was lying in the back of the car just to make Brad Pitt angry. And so the fact that you're telling me that her head is in this box, I can't believe that. I can't believe it because you lied all the way here. You lied. You lied. So if her head is not in the box, then I'm going to be 10 times more angry. Because then at this point, you're just pissing people off just for the sake of just making them upset. Anyways, I'm done yelling. But I like the fact that I can actively be guessing what these people are going to do and how they're going to do it. There's something about trying to figure out where people are going to be, what they're going to do. I'm like one of those people that really likes to put the pieces together. And a lot of times, like anybody who's seen like a new show with me that they've seen and I haven't, I often will ask them to pause it so that I can ask questions, because I like to make sure that where I want this movie to go is like where it's going to go. Or I like to make sure that I completely have an understanding of where I think the plot is going to go. I have no problem if it's going to surprise me, because it's probably going to make me very excited by the time I see the surprise. But, if it goes the way I'm thinking, then that's 10 times better, because I get to see it play out. Because even if I guess what's going to happen, the way it plays out is probably not going to be anywhere near what I'm thinking. I just love how thrillers really make that happen for you. They put you in this really tense situation and you have to make these clear-cut, concise, quick decisions, because if you don't, boom, something else is going to happen, and it's like, oh God, we really need to get over here and figure out what the heck is going on before this whole thing escalates into like the Twilight Zone, and we're kind of just left behind. It just keeps me on my toes. I like this.
Sip on that. Sip on that.
Lexi's so tired of me right now.
I just enjoy.
I'm over here sweating because I'm talking so hard.
I enjoy listening to just the passion you have for these thriller movies. And I love that for you, Kenny. I do. That's why I'm so glad we're talking about this. I want everyone to just, I know their ears are just blown up right now.
I'm sorry. I know I was yelling and I was getting loud.
But, we want them to be active participants.
You're right. Active participants.
I guess we don't want a cookie cutter podcast. I mean, I'd be fine with it. If you guys can predict what we're going to talk about, like, okay, cool. Like,
great.
Great.
Sensational.
Like, everything's going to work out in the end. We know it. But that's not what we're about here at Quali-Tea. No. That's great. Appreciate you for sharing that. It's really, I definitely think that is a very strong explanation for why you love them so much. And I think I value that you just love being such an active participant. Me, I don't want to be challenged. I don't.
No, I really understand.
No, I just want to sit here and enjoy what I'm comfortable where I am. I just want my hair stroked while I'm just watching a rom-com where I already know what's going to happen. The fact that I can predict the beginning, middle, and end, I'm fine with that. Stroke
Can
my
I
hair while I do
recommend
it.
one thriller that I think you'd really like, though?
Yes.
Do you like Stephen King kind of stuff?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so there's a movie. Are you into like magic and things like that?
Depending. I did like the one magic movie where like they did magic with like cards and like through the cards. What's the guy?
It's not like super supernatural. Like we're not having goblins and demons and popping out and all that creepy stuff. No, it's like so. There's a movie called Thinner, and it's based off of a Stephen King novel called Thinner, and it's about this really rich lawyer who accidentally hits this Gypsy King's daughter.
Oh.
And so it's basically about how this Gypsy King gets back at this lawyer, but he gets back also at the lawyer's friends, the judge and the police officer that ended up getting him off and not getting him any jail time for hitting his daughter. And so he puts a curse on all of them. And the reason why it's called Thinner is because the lawyer is like huge. And he puts a curse on the lawyer that he continually loses weight and he can't stop.
Oh.
And so
can I get that same magic recipe?
Same. I don't need this New Year's resolution. I need the curse. Anyway, but yeah, it's just this, and then once it starts getting to this dangerous level, he basically has to try and like fight this man's curse. He's like, I'm not taking this. He actually had gotten off a like mob boss of sorts in the beginning, and so the mob boss and this lawyer team up to go against this Gypsy King, and it's crazy. It's really good. I think you'd like it. It doesn't really have any romantic elements in it, but I see that for you.
Yeah, I mean, I will try for you, Kenny.
Even if we have to watch it together.
I will try for you, but if I don't like it, if I hate it and
if
it hurts my head,
like it,
can we watch The Notebook after?
Absolutely. I can watch that any time of day, so.
All right, well then we can do this. We can do this. But this kind of, after, talking about all this, our favorite genres, and clearly, we see the differences between us and our, taste for movies and why they just...
You and my mom would be good friends. She's definitely a rom-com girl.
My kind of girl, I'll tell
Janet.
you.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh, Janet. I think me and you are going to be just fine, sweetie. But kind of lead into the last question. So, everybody kind of says, when it comes to movies and just TV and, like, entertainment in general... It's always a very, they just aren't like they used to be, So what do you think for the future of movies? How's it looking for you? Do you think they're going to kind of go downhill? Do you think they're going to get better? Or are we just going to have our moments where really good movies and this, that, and the other?
I think we'll have our moments because right now I kind of see the movie industry, like, de-escalating. It's, we've gotten to the point where now we're just remaking stuff that really did... make an impact on us. And we love, the revival of our favorite Disney movies, but also when the movies came out, that was when the magic really happened. And so not only are you, it's great that you're implementing, modern ideals and modern characteristics into these remakes, but nothing is the same, How many times are y'all going to remake Ghostbusters? How many times, bro?
I definitely agree 100% with that.
They had to stop remaking Cinderella because they did like 8.
I understand. I love the idea of like, and I can appreciate, this whole aspect of remediation, where, we take these films and we turn them into other little, niches, niche, whatever, niches, I don't know, the fancy word, whatever. But I like remediation because it's cool. It can be really awesome and have like such great moments. I like seeing old stuff like a walk down memory lane and then it's being brought back to life. It's exciting. It's cool. It's like, oh, I remember seeing this when I was younger. They're redoing it. Bet we got to see it. And then, but I do agree. Like, ain't y'all tired?
Hairspray. That was a movie that definitely needed a redo because I think when the first one came out. I think it was really like the ideals were still sort of fresh, if you will, when the movie came out. But now we have modernity where all those ideals have been wiped clean, almost. We still have racial tension, obviously, but it's good to put a modern lens on movies like that because at least you know that this is how it used to be and this is the fight that people used to have to go through. But now we have 10 times more privileges than that. It's sort of like a reminder that, hey, we've come a long way, as a society and racially, like a lot of people have come a long way. That was a movie that obviously needed a remake, but Cinderella don't need a remake, bro. We don't need 12 different ones of those. Hilary
mean,
Duff killed it, but we did not need that. I mean,
I just think, ain't y'all tired? Ain't y'all tired? Because we kind of tired.
I'm a little tired because if they try and remake one more Disney movie, I'm done. I quit.
I just think they have to pick and choose wisely, and there have been a lot of, really, we're doing this again. I just don't think they're having those moments anymore.
Horror movies too. It's the same thing going on. I think at this point it's just about the jump scare factor. It's not even, sometimes the plot is good, but there's always a demon or a supernatural creature. And for some reason movies just keep taking, y'all remember that huge zombie movement that happened and all the movies that were coming out were somehow about zombies? I feel like we're doing that same thing and we just keep taking this one thing that worked the first time and just riding it out until everybody is sick of it. It's like, we're going to get sick of remakes after a while. We're going to get sick of these same horror movies that keep having these jump scares that aren't necessary. And then, we're going to get sick of these movies where some, sensual feature has to be omitted because of this apocalyptic thing that's happening. Bird Box, cool. A Quiet Place, cool. Next thing, are we not going to be able to speak? Can we not feel anything? Are we not going to be able to taste something and the aliens are supposed to kill us that way now?
Let's just go through all the senses here, Let's
I'm
just
hip.
do it.
We're just going to ride out every sense until the last movie's just going to be dumb.
And then we're just going to make up our own senses because we ran out, we used them all. Now
hip. We're not going to be able to cough out loud. It's going to be terrible.
God, no more sneezing, for real.
Goodness gracious, if you blink, you die.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm concerned at what the future looks like, but I do think there will be moments for sure, but
definitely.
I don't, I really am going to hopefully be positive and hope that it'll go up. Maybe we're in the slump right now. It's still
we need to get back to that 90s era energy where they were just putting out movies that were, we had good dramas, we had good thrillers, we had good romances, we had something, we had good horror, we had good everything,
it was just a good time.
It was banging. We need to get back because...
sip. I could keep sipping.
Steven Spielberg need to hit somebody with some ideas or something because, goodness gracious, we had good sci-fi. We had, every genre had some kind of just blockbuster hit that was happening. And it's like, I feel like with all of the technology that's being used in movies today, there is nothing but opportunity to have those blockbuster hits. But it's all about these writers who are, we're trying to get into their heads that we need something new,
Yeah, I really hope. Love movies. There's a lot. Don't get me wrong, there's so many great movies. I just really hope for the future that we don't have just every now and then moments. I really hope that when I look at what movies are out in theaters, I'm like, oh, there's so many. Which one am I gonna blow my money on? There's just so many.
Go broke from having experience after experience and being able to be in that thing. Because there's nothing like watching a movie in theaters. You get this group reaction to stuff like Creed. When that came out, goodness gracious.
Did the theater, when you watch it, did they applaud at the end?
I'm trying to tell you, if you didn't applaud, you were a crackhead.
Yeah, standing ovation.
Did you not get tense with the fight
Encore.
with Ricky Conlon? Goodness gracious, everybody was standing up whenever he would win some. We'd be like, oh yeah, it was like we were
boom, boom.
It was like we were in the ring with this man. And nobody said, nobody was like, shut up.
Did I just get punched in the face? I don't know.
We were all completely invested in Michael B. Jordan beating this man's behind. That was what we all wanted to see. We love to see it, even though he didn't even win.
Michael B., baby, we love you. We know what you did out there.
We support you in everything that you do, bro. Go off.
Yeah, it's just, see, I love, those theater reactions. But, I think we've talked about definitely a lot. I've definitely heard some great points from you and what goes on in your mind through movies. You got a little taste of what goes on in my cookie cutter mind.
Referencing SpongeBob, I'm definitely talking about a movie.
But yeah, so I guess the name of this segment really fits, this chaos we're talking about, movie madness, They go crazy, but Hope you guys really enjoyed this segment. I hope you all just enjoyed Kenny's passion. I'm telling you, I wish you could be
LOL.
here on the end of my mic just watching
Oh,
her.
my goodness.
Because it is just so much passion. But thank you
I
again.
apologize for screaming, y'all. I got a little excited.
This podcast of Quali-Tea is not responsible for any ear damage that may have been caused by Kenny. Once again, we are not responsible. But, no, like, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something. Hope this makes you think about, what it is that you enjoy when it comes to a movie. What is your movie madness,
Y'all saw on my Snap story, I got one of those coupons is for a free movie night with me. So.
Too late. Already got it.
LOL.
Too late, Artie. Sorry. Get the next one. Bye. But, yeah, stay tuned for our podcast. We're coming out with a podcast if you enjoyed this segment and our very first one. Stay tuned. Week by week, we're going to drop it every Monday night, man.
Absolutely. Y'all better look forward to it. And shout out to my resident, my homeboy, TJ Covington, for giving us these hot beats. Okay? He
Sick.
is doing a music production club on campus. So, if you want to hit him up about that, he can use your beats. I mean, we'd love to hear them over on this end too. The more beats we can get from y'all, the better. So please do not be afraid to hit us up about what you got. We would love to promote our favorite BC students, so hit us with what you've got. We would absolutely love to be a part of, you branching out.
We love TJ and his beats, man. Join him. He's a great guy. He's so talented.
I'm
and
hip.
We could use, get a little knowledge from him.
Cough, cough, as an RA. That's my resident gang.
TJ.
Nothing but pride for my people.
This one's for you, man. Stay tuned for this beat because it's about to come in. But no, thank you guys for sipping in on this tea. We really appreciate it. Once again,
the tea was real sweet today.
it was
good, great,
so good.
Oh yes,
that Quali-Tea, baby. That's all we serve. Sip on that. What are they sipping on? That. But once again, this is Lexi.
This is Kenny,
and this has been
the Quali-Tea.